3 and 4. The battle is on. It's going to be too close to call side by side. Long Joe gets it. Oh, we got contact. We got flips. We got big wrecks here. Going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
William Page with the victory.
Looking for second here.
Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Boyer trying to close the gap. He's gonna get to the bumper. Oh, just barely did not make it. And coming off of turn 4, Jeff Sikenis is gonna win it at Dover.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight. And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway for tonight's coverage of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. This is our last race before a 2-week vacation for the drivers and us here with Bomb Squad. At least we'll be back with you the next 2 Thursdays, of course, because we got all the best coverage and NR 2003 right here on JTN. But as always, not as always, I guess that's probably not the right way, but always a treat to have him up in the booth. Always love to talk to this guy. He's got a lot of fans here in New Hampshire at his home track, the one and only Mr. Ricky Collette. Ricky, welcome home.
Oh, thanks, Joe. This wasn't a long commute for me this week. running across everywhere. This is right up the street for me, but man, I love this place. Really gonna be a great night of racing here in New Hampshire. It's a fast track. It's a flat track up here in beautiful Granite State in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's like Pocono, except small and boring. It's going to be a great night.
You did good, and then you weren't doing good.
I can say it because you
go.
Yeah, because I go to the races.
This, of course, your Circle B Diecast race preview. Make sure you use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more to help support us here on JTN. Of course, Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series race preview. We are at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 120 laps tonight on the docket around the Magic Mile. 70 degrees clear. I'm Joe. He's Ricky. We're JTN here with you tonight. Qualifying currently occurring. Should get those results in a minute or two, so you get to listen to our voices for just a little bit longer. Ricky, New Hampshire's flat, right? What does that mean for these drivers?
It means it's going to be this place is pretty deceptively tricky, Joe. It's going to be kind of a spin for a lot of these guys. But a lot of these fellas at the Bomb Squad Racing League, very familiar with running short tracks, very familiar with breaking points, a lot of the finer technical ends of flat track racing, but that's all on a much smaller scale. New Hampshire Motor Speedway is a mile long, and it's got almost no banking in these turns. You're coming barreling into turn 1 here at probably about 165 miles an hour. You're carrying a lot of speed, and you got to get that thing low down to maybe about 90 miles an hour in the corners here. It's like Martinsville. It's like Martinsville exploded times 2. It's a wild place. It's going to be a fun night. It's very tricky to get into the corners here and keep the car under you. Braking is going to mean everything. You really got to conserve tires here. It's more or less a one-lane racetrack. It's more about how you arc that turn that's going to get you the good run off the corner.
And of course, we're not running restrictor plates tonight. This is the in-game version of the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That was 99, right?
That was 2001. 2000. It was 2003, so it's close. It's close.
That they ran restrictor plates?
Yeah, they ran in 2000 and 2001.
Oh, yikes. That's
I think
awful.
they ran out one. I really want to say
I think it was only for 1 year. I know it wasn't for 2.
Yeah, I think they ran only one race in 2001 with it, and then the other one they didn't.
Because they realized it wasn't a good idea, but, you know, we can't learn from the past mistakes. Qualifying has concluded. That means it's Ricky. It's your favorite time of the night to take us through tonight's starting lineup.
It's a pleasure, Joe, for tonight's race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. They call it New Hampshire Motor Speedway. They call it New Hampshire International because we're doing the 03-1, so it's technically New Hampshire International. It's before the SMI buyout, so you can pick
Motor
your poison
Speedway.
on it. But for tonight, here at Loudon, it would be 18 cars starting tonight. for this race. Good number for tonight. And starting on the pole will be the 28 car BSR Keith MC in that silver Gray Ghost 28 Ford Fusion at a time of 29.657 seconds. Starting in the second spot, flat track expert Robert Bauckham in the 118 car. Third position will go to Zach Rogers in the 9.
Hometown
BSR RickyJ
driver in that 9. Sorry.
Oh yeah, exactly. Another hometown driver there. BSR RickyJ in the 193 will roll off 4th this evening. BSR Terry Scott in the 66 will start 5th. Rick Craddock in the 22 will start 6th. With BSR Furco joining him in that row in the 7th position, the 19 car. BSR Silver Bullet in the 4 machine will start 8th tonight. Starting 9th will be the 144 BSR Magoo. And last car to take a time in qualifying this evening will be 10th spot, the 029 car BSR Kilojoule. Rounding out the rest of the field, the 096 of BSR Chevy Chase will start 11th. BSR Greg Lovell in the 088 will start 12th. BSR Brian Voiles in the 68, 13th. BSR Jimmy Dale in the 33 will roll off 14th. BSR RJ Rusty in the 2 car will roll off from the 15th spot. 16th goes to the 103 car of Nelly. 17th to the 49 of BSR Brain Fade. Starting shotgun on the field would be the 028 of Monty Keller, rolling off at the 20th position, or the 18th position, excuse me. And that's going to be a starting lineup from New Hampshire Motor Speedway for tonight's race. Like I said, good sized field here tonight. There's going to be some, I think there's going to be a lot of action. New Hampshire kind of gets a bum rap sometimes, but one thing that you really don't experience until you're at the track is how much mid-pack racing, how much dicey action happens further back from the leaders. For basically third on back, how much of a hornet's nest this place is with that one lane and the flat surface and all the different braking points. It's a wild one. It should be a fun time tonight.
You can say that about a lot of tracks that get a lot of flack for not being good race tracks.
I think I just say that about every track because you still haven't got me the thesaurus.
Well, I do have your address, so maybe I should get to that. But,
Mail me a thesaurus.
Mail you a thesaurus. If you want to fund Ricky actually expanding his vocabulary, head on over to the JTN merch store. Get yourself some JTN swag, some merch. Got the best t-shirts on the web, of course. Onto the JTN merch store. Got driver merch, of course, our JTN logo merch and whatnot, so you can help support the brand. But all those options, of course, the JTN merch store, linked in the description below. Flat corners, not a lot of banking. You can't really catch the car, so if you overdrive the entry of a corner, you're going to be in a world of hurt, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this place is this is what makes this track so brutal. Once that car steps away from you on entry, there's not a lot you can do to counter it. You're just along for the ride then. So these guys are going to have to be very careful. You can kind of, you can save it in certain situations. If you know that you're driving it in too deep, you can kind of, almost take like evasive maneuvers, like almost an emergency exit and kind of just wiggle up the track and into the wall and hang on to it. But a lot of times you'll just go right around it. See 028 Monte Keller doing just that. For tonight's race, open setups too, so that's going to throw even a bigger wrench in this, because usually when you come to a New Hampshire race in the NR and it's a fixed setup, it's a little more merciful. Usually for an entire server of 20 plus guys, you kind of have to make the setup a little tighter, a little more snug, a little more nose heavy, just so that the car's not constantly spinning around. These guys don't have that tonight. They're all trying to get that car as fast as possible, and you know that old saying, Joe, loose is fast.
Loose is definitely fast, but you're playing with fire here on these flatter tracks, because again, you don't have that banking to catch you. And this isn't Fuel Motorsports Park, it's not loud with dirt on it, so I don't think you really want to be sliding that back end too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you'd want to be. You can do it coming off the turn. I just saw Robert Bauckham do it about 2 laps back. You can do it coming off the turn, no problem. It's like any other short track. You can gun it coming off the turn, light up those rear tires, and save it. But
those rear tires are really going to help you with your drive off, so you don't want to use them too much. Tire wear, I don't think is going to be as big of a factor as it was, say, last week at Atlanta. But definitely still going to be an issue to watch throughout the night. But track position, when I was talking with the drivers before the race, they all chimed in and they said the key tonight is going to be track position. You're going to want to be up front. You're not going to want to lose that track position. So once you get it, the problem then turns to keeping it.
I agree. This track is it's tough to pass. It's again, it's like a short track. It takes a few laps. It takes a concerted effort to get past one guy. Now you got to do it for 17 other guys. You really don't want to be at the back of the field here because you can't sort of even, no matter how fast you are here, you can't just pick people up and put them down like it's nothing here. In terms of just climbing up through the field, it really is a battle for every single spot, and any little setback's going to really scuff up your plans for the night. But it looks like right now practice has concluded, and these cars are gritting out on pit road behind that Dodge Charger pace car to start tonight's event.
And the Loudon police doing a great job getting all the fans into the track. Going to do a great job pacing the field in this race, as long as, you know, nothing happens with the game. And pole sitter old Mac Daddy Keith MC, he's looking fast, won this race last year in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series, so no surprise there. That 28 starting on the pole. Outside, it's going to be the 118 of Robert Bauckham, right? Or no?
Yes, it will.
Okay. Road shoot's going to be teammates Zach Rogers in the 9, and RickyJ in the 193. Terry Scott, Rick Craddock, excuse me, I apologize. Burko, Silver Bullet, Magoo, and then Lovell and the 088 should be taking up that spot there. There's the command. Now you can see. And we get ready to go. Get ready to roll off here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Hampshire.
You know, you don't have that East Coast accent that I think people would probably peg you for, that Boston. But I guess you're kind of closer to Worcester, right?
Worcester. Yeah, it's really, there's like minor differences. Also, it just comes out of random things in certain turns of phrase.
Hey, do you want some lobster?
Want some lobster? Get a drink for the bubbler.
Go get yourself some Dunkin'.
Get myself some Dunkin'. I haven't drank coffee all day. I'm dying right now.
That was the first thing he told me, folks, when he got into the booth. It's like, you had extra time to get here if it was so close. But guys, these guys on track, they don't have a lot of time because they know they have to get to the front. Only 120 laps tonight, 120 miles around the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Pace car makes the turn down the pit lane, gives control to old Mac Daddy Keith MC. Down and away we go. Green flag here from New Hampshire.
Keith MC making quick work of the field coming into turn 1 here, getting that lead position nice and secure as Robert Bauckham and Zach Rogers side by side for that second spot. It'll be tricky for Bauckham here. Got that outside line, a little harder to make a move on anyone up there. Rogers really got the preferred position. But you can see Robert Bauckham really good rolling through the center right now, is hanging on to it.
Looks like he's going to get a good drive here off of turn number 4. He clears Rogers. Zach's going to have RickyJ all over his back bumper going down into turn 1.
Turn 1, RickyJ's right there, but just waiting. That's the thing about New Hampshire. You're always going to be breathing right down somebody's neck. You get right on their bumper. Oh, they're making contact a little further back here. Nelly 096 just had a moment there, touching fenders down the front straightaway. I thought they were going to, or back straightaway. I thought they were going to spin there.
No love lost there, huh?
No love lost. That's short track racing. Short track racing and a big old track.
And modifieds when they come here too, right? They talk about the draft with those mods, and this is obviously the biggest track they go to. Up front, though, it doesn't need any draft. It's old Mac Daddy Keith MC. He's got about, I don't even know how big that lead is, but I know it's big.
Yeah, you get to see how much he's sailing it into the corners right now, about center of the corner. He's not near the apron. He's almost an entire lane, almost a lane and a half up the track. It really seems like he's throwing it in deep, and then the car is just light enough that he can kind of let it dance up on that top dotted line there, and be able to hang on to it. Right now, field looking very clean. Everyone's starting to string out. Nice to see everyone under control here. Again, open setup, so kind of dealer's choice how these guys set their cars up for this evening. So I was expecting some more early race cold tire spin out, but we're really seeing a lot of good results right now.
Watching RJ Rusty trying to get to the inside of Jimmy Dale. That 2 car does not look like it has any front downforce, getting really loose on the exit of turn 4.
Brian Voiles really had to check up there for that 2 car. 49 of brain fade, same thing. Rusty was in that tough spot there. You can see what the car is doing right now. He's trying to ride that transition. The way this track works, it's not progressive banking, but it's got an interesting little niche to it. Is that, and while this is an older version of New Hampshire, it still kind of rings true the current one as well. Is that bottom lane is more or less flat, and then it goes into actual banking, and you can kind of use that to your advantage. Think like the old apron at Indianapolis before they put in the curbing. You can kind of use it to help the car rotate. But it's a tricky thing. It loosens the car up a lot. So if you're running a loose car, it's going to just send you sideways like we saw with the 2 of RJ Rusty there.
Single file now back throughout the field. Go back to our leader, old Keith MC. Talked about that 2 car. Speaking of the 2 car, there's a couple big announcements today, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Brad Keselowski leaving Penske at the end of the season.
That's not what I was talking about.
Oh, what was your thing?
I was talking about Austin Cindric going to the 2 car.
Oh, you know you wanted to talk about Brad.
No, because I woke up, saw that, and I was really sad. Not because like I did, we that was the worst kept secret in the garage area for the last 2 months now, but man, I'm just 2 car. I know everyone's gonna say Rusty's like was the guy behind that 2 car. And sure, yeah, whatever. But Keselowski, I think, is going to be the guy that's left the best legacy in that car. 34 wins, Penske's first championship, so not as many wins as Rusty had. But you just think about racing in a very competitive era as well, and being part of getting Penske to be that A-plus team that it wasn't until Brad got there. It's going to suck to see him in a different Ford Mustang, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. You know how I felt like 12 years ago. Not 12. What was it? 2007. So 13 years ago when Junior left. you know my very... way later, but you know my pain now.
Worst part is I'm a big Roger Penske and Team Penske guy, so now it's like I'm kind of torn. You know what I mean?
You know, I might have to be a Roush guy now.
Might have to be.
Roush makes a comeback. They work at it. They got a lot of stakes out here in the Bay State. John Henry, owner of Boston Red Sox, is one of the co-owners of the team.
Right. With Fenway Sports.
Yeah, usually, I don't know if they've been doing it the past few years. They used to run a Nesson car at the New England Sports Network, and usually a Red Sox car at the New Hampshire races when they come here. I don't know if they still do it. They might have not done it last year.
I feel like the 17 usually does have. It's been the 17 the last couple of years. We can, let's look at the entry list. We can probably figure that out. Working lap number 11 to 120. We're single file all throughout. These boys putting on a show. Furco to the inside of Lovell. This, I believe, for the 5th position.
Yeah, Furco staying side by side with Lovell here. Yeah, Lovell gets a really good run off of turn 2 there. Is actually starting to pull back away in the 19, but here it is. Furco's going to throw it in deep here. Lovell's going to try to roll that high line. And it seems like, Joe, you almost want to be a lane up the track. You almost don't want to be on that low line. Seems like that's giving these guys the best entry into the turn. Ooh, 22, Rick Craddock in that 5th spot. Overshot the turn a little bit. Had to kind of hit the abort button, go all the way up the track there. Probably lost a ton of speed on the 088 with Greg Lovell, but holds on to that 5th position for the moment.
Yeah, it should be okay. You just got to kind of regain your composure, right? Little mistakes are going to happen throughout the race. We always talk about keeping your momentum. Furco with a big smack to the outside wall. He's going to lose 2 spots down the front straightaway.
Yeah, 2 spots. Lost a lot of momentum. That's a hard thing, too. This track doesn't... You're really getting off the gas going off turn 4 there. If you smack the wall and hinder that momentum in any way, it really kills you. These guys just freight train you coming around this place, which is usually, typical for a lot of tracks, but New Hampshire, it's pretty pronounced. Way further back in the field here, 33, Jimmy Dale, 49, and Brain Fade have just been at each other lap after lap here, just crisscrossing, getting close to each other side by side. These guys are really racing for every position on track right now.
Brain Fade back down to the inside of Jimmy Dale for that position. They're going to be side by side going down into turn number 1. Scratch that. 33 could run on the top down the front straightaway. Now Magoogan sticking his nose into this battle.
Back straightaway here, 88. Greg Lovell got to the inside of that 22. Rick Craddock dives it in deep in turn 3 here, makes the pass, so put Greg Lovell up to the 5th position.
I was going to say, behind that, you saw it, Nelly washing up the track a little bit. got into the 2 car, or the 096, excuse me, of Chevy Chase. Those two battling hard for position 2. Your comment about there being a lot of good racing throughout the field, it's coming true. It's coming true. I guess you know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying it. I've been to these races. These guys get all, like, the front of the field starts splitting up, but then from like 10th on back, it's just a hornet's nest. You see these guys coming 2 and 3 wide off of turn 4, and you can see them physically kicking the rear end out, smoking the tires because they're so loose coming off the turn. Which is a lot of what we're seeing right now.
Watching Furco, he got all the way up on that back bumper Silver Bullet. That was a little, like it was going to get a little hairy there. I think we figured things out in this pack. Any other? Looks like we're pretty much single file. This is really right outside the top 5. That's where we're seeing all these battles. Or I guess right with the top 5.
Just the way these guys are snaking down that front straightaway, you can really see how much load they're putting on that right front, how close they're getting to smacking the wall every time they come off of turn 4 right now. These cars are starting to tighten up. It's been a long run here, already 17 laps. Joe, we were talking about at the start of the show that you didn't think tire wear necessarily was going to be as pronounced as Atlanta, and I would agree with you in the sense of just pound for pound.
Right.
What the track surface is going to do to that rubber. But the way these guys have these cars set up, they're just going to murder that right front tire tonight. And these cars are just going to get stupid tight as this run just sort of clicks away and we get close to the green flag pit stops here. So these guys are going to have to keep an eye out for that. That's why you're seeing people almost getting close to the wall, but we saw Furco bounce off the wall a few laps back. These cars are really starting to tighten up, and it's a tricky kind of tight because they're still very free on entry.
Well,
so for the back, 144 Magoo losing 2 spots to the 33 and the 029.
And another thing, too, a lot of these guys are being really aggressive getting down into the corner. That's going to hurt those front tires, too, right?
Absolutely. Especially if you're doing it early in the run, it's really going to start to snake bite you later on here. Wondering if that's kind of what we're seeing up front. These guys sort of pacing themselves, taking their time here. Not trying to go absolutely, buck wild at the front, but further back, they're just everywhere. Oh, Silver Bullet almost hits a wall there. Nelly's going to get to the inside of him. That's for the 8th spot. They're going to be side by side. Nelly throws in deep into the turn here. It's going to make the pass. Silver Bullet lets him on by. A little further up ahead, though. They've got a little bit of a little log jam here. 22, 088 racing each other. 66 trying to get in on this.
Scott going to send it down into the inside. A Lovell loves running it really hard on that high line down here in 3 and 4. 66 going to get all the way up next to his door, not let him get that arc off the corner, drag race down into turn 1.
They're side by side, fender to fender. No one has an inch here, but Terry Scott throws it deep and makes that slide job on Greg Lovell, but did he overshoot it? The 088 gets back to the inside. He's going to get a good run down the back straightaway here. He's going to stay with the 66 coming into turn 3, excuse me.
Now they're both in lines that they don't like. Lovell backs off a little bit. Terry Scott going to be able to maintain that middle groove, and they drive back away single file.
I think Terry Scott sort of figured that he'd tag out there. I think that's what that was. Or Greg Lovell, sorry, I had him backwards. I think Lovell realized, tag out a little bit. He really needs this position. Don't put up too much of a fight right now just to save those tires. A little further up front, 28 Keith MC fights some lap traffic. Almost got into the 33 of BSR Jimmy Dale in the 15th spot, lapping that car. It's going to be tough for this leader. He's been bobbing and weaving lap traffic. It's tricky as these guys get up on these lappers because lappers really don't have a lot of places to go. Like I said, everyone's running pretty loose. They're either running very tight or very loose, so it's hard to get out of someone's way in the turns here. You're kind of committed to a line when you enter that turn. You hit the brakes. 7th position, Nelly getting to the inside of the 088 of Greg Lovell. This 088 starting to look like this Texaco Mustang is starting to drop back a little bit, Joe. I wonder if Greg burned out his rubber.
He was one of the guys that early on was really willing to send it down into the corner. That meaning he's probably going to have to stomp on the brakes a little bit more, apply a little bit more pressure through the center. My technique was always to let off as early as I could. You know what I mean? So that way I'm not using the brakes as much. I don't like using the brakes. I'd rather use other cars. That's probably why I'm up here in the booth, and I'm not the color commentary guide. I'm the lead, but
It depends on what version of New Hampshire you're at. I found usually you need brakes in my general experience with NR.
I want to use
physics.
the least amount of brakes as possible.
Yeah, you want to use, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of it just comes down to how you're taking the corner, how much wheel you're putting in the car there. So these guys that are diving it in really deep and then cutting it into the center of the corner, that's probably killing the right fronts right now, as opposed to some of these guys that might be rolling it in, laying up the track, intentionally taking the route that's going to require putting the least amount of wheel in the car, the least amount of resistance the car is going to give to rotate in the corners. What you want to do right now, because that's going to keep your tires fresh for the longest. All right, got a car coming down pit road here, the 17th spot, the 2-car BSR RJ Rusty, a lap down right now, coming to take 4 tires and fuel.
I think that they probably wore out those right sides a little too much. Going to make a short pit here. Hopefully that gains him some track position. But probably going to have to go along on the rest of the stops.
I think you'll probably be right, or at least for the next few, unless he can get some cautions to help him out here. But right now, Keith MC holding a pretty good gap. He's got a fast car, but I think what's also helping him is that Robert Bauckham, Zach Rogers, RickyJ, these are the 4 guys all kind of staying, you know, within 5 seconds of the leader, 7 seconds in the 193's case. But they're all having to navigate the same traffic, so they can't really blow by these guys. They're not blowing by these guys any easier than Keith did.
Right.
And Keith had to kind of put up a fight to get by some of these guys. So it's helping him. Usually it's a hindrance to deal with lap traffic, but it seems like it's balancing out at the moment. 8th spot, though, Greg Lovell in the 088, now coming down pit road. So there's our first lead lap car deciding to come down to pit. So see if this pulls anyone else. You got to think some of these guys are on a similar, running a very similar line to that 088. They'll probably have to come down and get tires soon, too.
So I see it as there's 2 possibilities. This race, it breaks down really easily. You can make 4 stops and go 30 a stint. Or you can make 3 stops and go 40 a stint. I always like to make the least amount of pit stops possible.
I would agree with you.
How much has the pace fallen off?
Well, right outside, there's a fight here for that 5th spot. Terry Scott just drove it in deep on Rick Craddock for the 5th position. Craddock dove back in on turn 1 and just back to the inside of the 66. Going to take the position. I think, yes, Scott kind of gets out of the groove there. That's going to bring Nelly in.
I was going to say, Craddock really forced him up and out of that groove there. I don't think Scott in the 66 really wanted to get up that high, but knew that if he didn't, maybe some contact. Go ahead.
To answer your question, Joe, though, a lot of these guys out here running about very low 30 seconds, and they're up to about 31 seconds right now.
So almost a second to fall off.
Yeah, and it also kind of depends on the guy. These guys here at the front are still running low 30 seconds, so there's not a ton of lap time fall off. Keith FC's best time was a 29.8, and he just ran a 32 last time by. Robert Bauckham ran a 30 flat as his best and ran a 36 last time by. So these guys up front that are handling well, only dealing with about a few tenths of a second difference. But the guys in the back, it's probably closer to a minute. Fortunately, it looks like BSR Greg Lovell having some issues. Out of the server, back in now. It's probably going to put him a few laps down.
It's MC going through some traffic here at the 49 of Brain Fade and KJ in that 029. KJ, I believe, gridded from the pit road, so that's why he started a lap down.
Yes, and here comes that 28. Keith MC is going to be a weird spot for him to kind of have to roll here behind the 029. He'll have to try to make this charge in turn 1 here, I would think, if he doesn't want to lose momentum. But he might come up right on KJ at a bad time there.
I don't think he's close enough to try to make that run. Gonna have a good run, though, coming off of turn 2. KJ got a little loose. Maybe he's just trying to scare the teammate there. What do you think?
Maybe a little bit. I was like, oh, he's getting loose, though. I think Keith's also cutting him some slack there, as they're almost going 3 wide here. With the 028 of Monty Keller, the 11th spot. That's going to be the next car to go a lap down here. Monty Keller's 28 goes by the 028. Yeah, I think Keith was cutting him some slack. He knows how much of a lead he has right now. About 5 seconds on Robert Bauckham, so probably doesn't want to rock the boat too much and do something too gutsy, as it were.
Don't want to be too gutsy.
Don't want to be too gutsy.
No other battles on track right now.
Further back here, Magoo. Chevy Chase getting on by Magoo. Magoo the lap car right now. Right now, I'm seeing Brainfade and Monte Keller are kind of fighting for position. We're fighting for position. It looks like Brainfade's gotten past him, has kind of prevailed. Brainfade running some pretty decent lap times right now. Kind of actually comparable to the leader at the moment.
It helps to have that rabbit out in front of you, too. You know what I mean? It helps to see how that guy's running his line. I have to think everyone's probably got similar setups. This track's been around 2002, so you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel here tonight.
Got the 33 of Jimmy Dale calling out, 14th position, a lap down, coming down pit road, so we'll see. I thought Greg Lovell would be the one to say, hey, people start pitting, but like you said, really probably can do 40 laps, so Monte Keller, the 028's around in turn 4. Is this going to bring out a caution? And it does. Oh, and the 68 of Brian Voiles gets into the back of him.
No.
We are under caution here. Lap 37 of this 120 lap event. Pretty good run here. Got to basically full fuel running for these guys.
Your replay looks like 028 just going to go a little too hot down here into turn 3. Gets a little high. Car's going to go around on him. Whew,
yeah.
Almost contact there with Lovell in that 088.
Yep, and this is what I was talking about. You overshoot that turn a little bit, and the car just starts stepping out. No matter how much you counter steer it, it's not going to come back, and you just sort of have to hope that you don't back it into the wall. Luckily, Monte Keller did the smart thing by going high into the turn, or staying high in the turn, so it close to the wall, less of an impact if he ended up backing it into that. That wasn't a safe area at this track either, so that would have probably hurt a little bit.
Just a teeny weeny bit.
And Brian Voiles, I think, nowhere to go there. I think he was slowing down, but it's hard to slow down in the corners here in New Hampshire without the car just flat spinning out because there's so much rear brake in it. So,
which it looked like he was. That rear end looked like it was starting to kick out on him there on the bottom. Everyone coming down pit road, or at least all the lead lap cars left.
And at this, a 68, I think, of Brian Voiles would be the first car lap down since Monte Keller spun. If that's stand, I think that's going to stand because Monte Keller brought the caution.
Wouldn't Brainfade be the first car lap down?
Brainfade. Did Brainfade unlap himself? Oh, you're right. Yeah, Brainfade would be the lucky dog, huh? I think. He's out here like he's taking a wave around now.
Well, he probably can't pit till the next time by.
Oh, true. True be you.
Look at me knowing the rules. Weigh in a little bit more on the silly season news today. Austin Cindric is very deserving of being in that 2 car. Knew he was going to be in the Cup Series next year, whether it be with Penske like he will be now, or with the 21 team. That was already something signed. Everyone's a little angry about Matt DiBenedetto losing the 21 car. I understand. And he has wheeled that 21 car to some of their best average finishing position season-wise since the 90s, even an even better average than when Blaney went to the final 8. But Harrison Burton's a really good young prospect in the Xfinity Series, right? He's got 4 wins to his name. They haven't had the luck that they would probably have liked to have to date in the Xfinity Series this year, so there's that. But both those guys getting Cup rides is good for the sport. Young guys being able to get good Cup rides, and they're good young guys. They're not like your typical quote-unquote pay drivers. So, but Cindric very well deserving. I saw a lot of people kind of bashing him like, oh, your dad's a team principal at Team Penske. That's why he got the ride. Might be why he got the initial opportunity, but Roger Penske wouldn't let him be in the race car if he didn't believe that the kid could do good. And then in terms of Harrison Burton's proven that he's good, and there was nowhere for him to go in the Toyota development pipeline, it seems like, because even if 2311 expands right now, it sounds like they're going to have Kurt Busch over there, and their second cars were getting ready to go back green flag racing. Any comments from you, Ricky?
I think you wrapped it up quite. You put a nice bow on that, Joe. I think that was everything I would say, which I would agree. I don't think there was really anywhere that he was going to end up going, because really the only option on the table would have been 2311, and the honest brass tacks is that a new team needs new team needs
They're going to need that veteran driver presence.
that veteran presence.
And I think
they already have one young driver.
Right.
Not necessarily young, but relatively young. I think they need someone who can tell them, who'd be able to shake down cars. Kind of think of it like what Matt Kenseth did when he ran at Roush for like half a season.
Right. Getting ready to go back. Green, old Mech Daddy Keith MC with control on the bottom. Robert Baucom, Zach Rogers, RickyJ, and Nelly, your top 5 here on the restart. Getting ready to go back. Green Flag Racing coming to lap 41 of 120, a third of the way into this one. Pace car makes that left-hand turn down the pit lane. Back away we go. Green flag once again from New Hampshire.
Robert Baucom sticks with Keith MC on this restart. He's not going to try to hang with him. RickyJ goes way high in the turn. He's out of the groove. The pull in behind Zach Rogers. No opposition from behind him, so he'll remain in that 4th spot.
Keith is kind of in a class of his own, but these next 3 seem like they're very close.
Kicking it out. 66 got way loose. 22 gets to the inside of him. Sorry to cut you off there, Joe. 22 just kicked it out coming off the turn.
Ooh, bump
Terry
from the
Scott.
096 to the back of the 66.
Yeah, Terry Scott's got a bunch of people rearing down his neck right now. He's really got to... he had a stumble there in the turn. I think of those cold tires. Really log jammed these guys up behind him. But 096, KJ starting to battle for position. Killjoy's a lap down at the moment, so... not much on the line right now for that 029 machine.
Brian Voiles in the 68. Voiles trucking Mustang down on the apron. RJ Rusty to his outside. 2 Mustangs battling. Gonna get back single file.
Back single file. 028 gets the inside of the 49 and brain fade. 19 of Furco gets on his back bumper. He's going to start pumping him. He's touching him. He's touching him. The 49 sees the inside of the 028, but the 028 pulls away.
I don't think when we were talking about the restrictor plates earlier that they used to run here at New Hampshire, or that they ran here at New Hampshire, I didn't think that these guys thought that
drafting
was open season for bump drafting.
Oh, Furco brake fade getting close there. Coming down the straightaway. Furco gets on by. Now RJ Rusty, that 2 is going to come up on brain fade. Rusty's a lap down. Brian Boyle throws it deep. You just saw him in a 4-wheel slide there behind the 2 car. Yeah, dirt tracking it there. Brian Voiles leaving it all on the track right now, but right now, last car on the lead lap will be the 49 of brain fade. So Rusty's got incentive to move up in the sense that Monty Keller's ahead of him, and Monty Keller's a lap down, and Monty Keller hit the wall right here, so that's going to hurt his momentum. He wants to get that lap position if he can. These guys, 096, 029 getting on by the 56 right now, the 66 of Terry Scott right now.
There's a lot happening here on this restart, huh?
Oh, Furco to the inside of the 028. They almost made contact coming down the straightaway. Furco lets him have the spot. Furco knows. He knows it's going to lap down. He's like, got to pick and choose his battles here. 096 and Cherry Chase gets up the track. KJ gets on by. The 66 is fighting the 088 right now. Kilojoules has a very fast car right now, Joe. He's a lap down at the moment, but he is running 6th in line.
Not surprising. Again, started down on pit lane, so that's why he lost that lap in the first place. But not surprising at all to see that 029 car strong here tonight. But there wasn't a lot of confidence. The driver didn't have a lot of confidence in his own abilities coming into tonight's race, though. It's always good when you're fast, when you don't think you're going to be fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I mean. Joe, right now, one thing I'm noticing here, Keith MC's not pulling away from these guys like he did last time by. Robert Baucom hanging in within a second on the leader at the moment.
Once we got outside of that first 10 laps on the tires, that 28...
Oh, cars around Nelly hard into the outside wall. Turn 3. Looks like it'll be a single car incident, but KJ might have just gotten the caution that he needed to get back on the lead lap.
A replay. Everyone probably going to come down pit road here, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Nelly just going to go... And we're going to go... Whoa, Nelly going to spin... Oh, overcorrect there into that outside wall.
Yeah, it's a tricky part. It's snappy, too. It kicks out. You can see how sideways it was. He tried to save it. He kind of got it most of the way there, but then he gave it a little too much right hand little too many cranks to the right there, and the car just snapped. A hard shot for Nelly. Doesn't look like a ton of hood damage, so they might be able to pull some of that out.
Good old iRacing overcorrect, referred to.
But, yep, KJ 029 and BSR Killjoules will be the lucky dog here, so he will be back into this competition.
I think some of those lap down guys might stay out too to try to get a wave around. Because we know the tires aren't too terribly wearing, right? Lap times weren't falling off too much. Trying to get that lap back is probably a bigger thing.
Honestly, it wasn't as terrible as you'd think.
Everyone down on the pit lane, down and away. We're gonna get off of the pit lane. Same way we went on to it. Love it when a story comes together.
Love it when a story's easy to follow.
You know what else is easy to follow?
What's easy to follow, Joe?
Our upcoming races here on JTN, presented by our friends at TWB Technologies. Together, we are better, and of course, together with you, the JTN fans, we're always better here on these broadcasts. Next Thursday night, July the 22nd, Hobo Racing Modifieds from Airborne. The following Thursday night, Hobo Racing Mods again from Iowa. August the 4th, Bomb Squad Racing Truck Series from Watkins Glen, then the Bomb Squad Cup Series the following night from Watkins Glen, and then the Bomb Squad Xfinity Series from Watkins Glen. So a triple header of Watkins Glen. If you like the Texas Triple, you're going to love the Watkins Glen Triple. Also, believe we're going to have a Hobo race on the 2nd or 3rd. Getting those details ironed out, but folks, can't thank you enough for all you do for us here on JTN for tuning in tonight for another fantastic night of racing here with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Magoo's staying out.
He's staying out, so it's be interesting. I think right now he's just looking to get a wave around, so he'll get it. He'll get it. All things considered, it wasn't. All things considered, it wasn't a long run that these guys had out there on those tires. It's going to probably show up for Magoo pretty quickly how much difference there is.
Big difference, little difference?
Yes?
You don't know!
I don't know.
Pace car lights go off here. They do. We'll go back green flag racing this time by.
It looks like Magoo not taking a wave around here. Which is interesting.
I think what'll happen, he'll probably drop down to the bottom going into 1. They'll just add his lap back. It's a little easier than trying to clear a black flag.
I might be trying to get this sorted here, because I think, yeah, it's going to get down on the apron here. Looks like the 28 Keith MC is going to kind of assume the lead. Yeah, it looks like it. 28's going to assume the lead. 118 will be alongside him. Magoo is starting there. So, 3-wide start, doing the sprint car style. I don't think that's sprint car style. I'm thinking of Indy car.
Still not really?
I'm thinking of the Indy 500. How about that?
There you go. Mac Daddy got to clear the 118 for the lead coming off of turn number 2. Field screaming on by down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're all going to come barreling into turn 3 here. Trying to get position. 22 trying to dive it into the inside. The 096, a BSR Chevy Chase. That's going to be for the 5th position. Rick Craddock going to get into the top 5, or maybe not. He gets very loose coming off the turn here. Furco a little further back gets very loose. Joe, this pack racing back here, 10 with brain fade.
There's a lot going on, guys. Sending it down into the corner level. Almost makes contact with the 49 of brain fade. Got a little gaggle cars here. Back half of the field.
whole ton of bunch of guys all over the place. Monte Keller way up the track here. The 103 gets to the inside of him. Starting to thin out, but Brain Fade can't get to the bottom here. 029's going to dive past 49.
Urko to the inside of Silver Bullet up ahead.
And right up ahead, Rick Craddock, Chevy Chase still racing side by side. Craddock looks like he's going to pull ahead, though. And we have another caution. It's time for the 029 to Kilojoules.
Oh, no. Oh, rear end tore up on that Corvette. Looks like you might have went down in the corner a little too much.
Yeah, it's a little too much. You see it. It just immediately stepped out on him. Slides up the track, locks it down. So good job by KJ to kind of mitigate that. Rear end's not too bad. I think they could pull most of that out.
At least this gives us a good chance to see the color changing of that 029 Corvette. There it goes to orange. Bam. Folks, make sure if you're looking for some new t-shirts, I know the summer is winding down. Maybe you're looking for a new hoodie for the fall. The JTN merch store has you covered. Help support us here on JTN. Check out the JTN merch store. Linked in the description below. We have hats. Or not, we don't have hats. What am I saying? T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. Got a coffee mug too. All that and more on the JTN merch store. JTN logo merch, of course. Fake Racers podcast merch. Driver merch. If you ask for it, JTN has it. Check out the JTN merch store again, linked in the video description below. Split strategy here. Leader stays out in the 28th, then everyone else coming down the pit lane.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. It's like I said, lap time's not a whole ton here, but you gotta hang on to a lot of stuff right now, and that's gonna be an interesting setup, basically. These guys are going to have fresher tires. That right front's not going to be as abused as some of these other guys later in the run because they have less laps on that tire. It's going to be interesting to see what it actually does. But it's kind of up in the air right now. I'm not really sure what it's going to do.
A little silly? Like silly season?
A little silly season. A little bit of the season is a little bit of the season. Look at the chat. See Darren Ingram checking in, saying hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Darren, what did you think about the news today? The other thing we didn't talk about, there's going to be an IndyCar game in 2023 for Motorsports Games. Have to assume that's probably on the R-Factor engine, so that will be very, very fun.
That probably will. I'm pretty sure if anyone's ever played R-Factor, they probably played an IndyCar mod at some point in one of the two R-Factors. You really can't miss.
That will be fun indeed there. Another, back to the silly season stuff this morning. Matt DiBenedetto not losing his ride, because I think he kind of knew that he would be out of that, right? That was the game plan going into this year. He's great, and Darren just said it. He's a great guy. Don't think he did enough to prove himself worthy of keeping that car, says Darren Ingram. I don't know if worthy is the right way to phrase it, because I think he's definitely worthy of being in that 21 car. I just think Ford is trying to build up their pipeline a little bit better, get another young driver. At 21 teams kind of starting to become that development driver type car where there's a guy in there that someone's trying to develop, which was originally the plan with Cindric going into it next year originally. I've seen people talk about, DiBenedetto can go to one of the Gibbs Xfinity cars. There's a lot of rumors that Joe Gibbs is only going to field 3 full-time Xfinity entries next year, so you'd have to think Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick, and then Ty Gibbs. Then a third or a fourth entry part-time instead of having the forward full-time like they do this year. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out as well. But a lot of fun stuff going. Silly season getting a little silly. As we're getting ready to go back, green flag racing, Keith Dempsey, Mac Daddy, Silver Bullet. Both of them staying out on that last caution. Then it's 4 tires all the way behind them. Blockham, Rogers, Chevy Chase, Furco, RickyJ, Scott, Nelly, Brain Fade, your top 10 here for the restart coming at you on lap 59 of 120. You like my soliloquy, Ricky?
I do.
Does it mean you don't have to talk?
Exactly.
Getting ready to go back green. Pace car gonna make the hard left turn down the pit lane. Keith MC with control. He enters the restart zone and back down and away we go. Green flag once again from New Hampshire.
"28 dives in deep here, takes that lead, but Silver Bullet way up the track here. Zach Rogers to the inside, they make contact. Silver Bullet hangs on to it, keeps it off the wall. But almost hits the wall. A little bit dicey up here, but Keith MC sailing away. Robert Bauckham in second. Zach Rogers. Bauckham got very loose there, but he's getting a really good center off this time by. A little further back, though, BSR RickyJ starting to get a challenge from BSR Chevy Chase, the 096. We haven't seen this 096 up here yet. I don't think this top 4 has changed hand all night.
And RickyJ was able to pass that 096 through turns 3 and 4. Really dirt track. And Zach Rogers all over, corrects into the outside wall. RickyJ involved. Teammates around on the back straightaway.
Oh, no.
Caution is out. We'll get your replay.
Oh, Joe, I said it was a crazy track.
Rogers loose on the bottom. Big contact with the outside wall. Overcorrects back to the right.
It's interesting here because unlike a lot of them that were on entry, you can see what happens is Rogers is trying to arc that corner. I think he's trying to use the apron to help the car rotate a little bit, and when the car lingers on it just a little too long, it steps out. And like I said, flat track, really hard to save it when it steps out like that. And he kind of did what the 103 did earlier, had to go for that correct, and the car snapped. He did a great job at hanging on to it to keep it straight, but RickyJ behind him, nowhere to go, has to get into the back of him here, and they both go into the dirt. Bright side, a lot of soft impacts there. I don't really see anyone hammer anything or really slam into anything with enough intensity that I would be concerned about notable damage. But it will be a setback for Zach Rogers and RickyJ, as they both are going to have to start in the back now and then weave their way through the field. The split decision on this pit road. Nelly coming down, first car, 5th place. Not a lot of time, but is again kind of like the same last caution, a few green laps. So these guys up front, they'll have to fight with that, but these guys that are pitting right now, they're on lead lap. They'll get it right front with a little extra life in it.
Well, you can split this race now if you're these guys.
Yeah, you can.
You can split it 30 laps, 30 laps. I think everyone's going to have to make one more stop, right? These other guys, they could probably go to around lap 80. 85, 90.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So, I mean, you're pitting around the same time, but I think having the fresh tires for a little bit short, or, a little bit... Having fresh tires for longer at the end of the race might be a good strategy if you don't have the track position, like these guys up front. Maybe get yourself up in the top 5. Maybe get yourself on the podium. Talk with us after the race. Ricky, do you like diecast?
I like diecast.
Well, then, I have a deal for you. Make sure, if you're looking for diecast, or maybe you're looking for a new racing hat or t-shirt, you head on over to our friends at CircuitDiecast.com. You use code JTN at checkout. Get this, you're going to get free shipping on that order of over $20 or more. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty dang good.
And you're also going to help support JTN. Wow, says Ricky.
Wow.
Sorry, the scripts didn't get passed around up here pre-race. They might have got, dog ate the homework or whatever. But, again, folks, Circle B Diecast is your home for all of your diecast needs, your racing-related collectibles, memorabilia, whatever you want to call it. They got it. Make sure you use that code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. Next time you need to pre-order a diecast as well, you can use that code and get that free shipping. I think we'll see the pace car lights go off next time by. Still should have about 2 laps of caution left. Fun.
Back around. It's gonna be fun.
Harrison Burton in the 21. That was a move. I think that's a good move for Harrison. Talked about the Virginia.
Good move for Burtons everywhere.
The Virginia connection there. Oh, we're going to go back green next time by. I can't count, but that's okay.
They're going to start a new team next year. Wood Brothers. It's going to be a two-car operation. Ward Burton's going to run the second car, and he's going to be stationed in the south side of the shop. Nothing? No?
Nope.
Nope.
Not gonna bite.
Yeah. You knew it. You knew I was going to do it.
Do it. Do it.
No, I said you knew I was going to.
No, I just don't want to entertain you.
Don't want to entertain me.
He's going to be on the south side of the shop?
South side of the shop. That's what his thing was. It was like, I got raised on the south side of the house. That's why I got the draw.
Huh?
Well, you never heard this?
No.
We literally, in private, I swear to God, Davey's made that joke like 40 times.
Probably, but I'm too stupid. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Pace car going to make the left turn down the pit lane. We get ready to go back. Green here. Come to lap 65 of 120. Just over halfway. Down and away we go. Green flag once again from New Hampshire. Balcom beats the 28 to the line, but won't have that preferred lane going down into turns 1 and 2. Still side-by-side Chevy Chase up the hill. Bullies the 66 of Terry Scott out of the line. 28 going to be clear.
28 rallies back here, gets that lead easily from Robert Bacham. A little further back, like you said. They're starting to... Oh, 29 is down in the dirt, coming down the back straightaway here. These guys just all fanning through the turns right now. Monty Keller up in 5th spot is getting a challenge for the 22 to the inside. Just gets loose. These guys are getting really close together. 68 Brian Voiles has a moment. 19 does. They're all dicing and slicing back here.
Dicing and slicing like the butcher counter. We got pack racing at New Hampshire.
We got pack racing in New Hampshire.
NASCAR would love this.
49. Nelly's going to throw it in deep here. Brainfade's going to keep it up the track. The 029 gets loose. Oh, he's having connection issues. The 22 got loose in front of him. He's checked up big time. Oh, he's going to come right into the fray here.
Like DW right now, just making random noises up in the booth. Oh, contact!
Oh,
Furco up into the wall.
And he hangs onto it. How did Furco hold on to that?
Skill.
And it looks like they finally start to single file out a little bit here.
Oh, Monty Keller!
Monty Keller! I jinxed him.
You did. You jerk.
66 gets to the inside. Nelly's to the inside of him. He gets close to the wall here. A little further back. Brainfade bounces off the wall.
AJ Blinken trying to get to the inside of Keller for position.
Yeah, KJ, that's a bad blink right now. The 103's getting really close to the inside. That 66 getting really loose, hanging it all out. The 66 checks up, and now he's getting freight trained by a few of these guys. And the 22 is trying to get to the inside of the 028. You gotta think Rick's mad in that 22 car. Using right up in that front running. Had a slight slip up there, lost a ton of position, having to claw his way back up through these guys at the moment.
Scratching and clawing his way back to the front.
Not missing anything up front. 28, Keith MC still leads. But right now, the story is on this huge, just absolute hornet's nest of race cars back here for about 5th on back. Nelly's got that 5th position right now, but Killjew's really looking to the inside of that 103, trying to see if he can get something there. 28 hits the wall pretty hard, a little further back than that
car
spot.
hard into the inside wall.
That's
No caution.
RickyJ.
Is it RickyJ or is it Voiles? No, it is RickyJ. No. He keeps it going straight.
Gets really loose coming off the turn there. Bounces off the wall. Zach Rogers in the 9, nowhere to go. Gets into the back room just a little bit. Sends Ricky to the inside wall. Stays straight. It was pretty much a flat door impact of the wall, so not a lot of damage on that 093, but
Once again, that's teammate.
a little bit of a waker-upper. 9 gets to the inside of the 68. Just for that 11th spot. Zach Rogers throws in deep. He's going to try using that apron. Really rotates the car beautifully through the turn there. Leapfrogs to 68. Gets to the inside of the 028. Monty Keller.
Trying to get that 2-for-1 special coming off of turn number 3 is Zach Rogers in the 9 Red Bull Audi.
One sale on Red Bull right now with a 68. Voiles trucking machine to the inside of the 028. Makes the pass. It looks like Brian Voiles will get up to that 10th position, but Monty Keller's dropping hard right now.
Dropping like a rock.
Dropping like a rock.
That's not a song.
little further back up here, BSR Chevy Chase, now 096 in the third position. Really been seeing a lot of challenge for the 088 of Greg Lovell past bunch of laps, but it seems like Lovell's really on his back bumper now. Just kind of sticking with him, waiting for Chevy Chase, looks like, to make a slight slip up here. Lovell throws it deep into the turn this time. The 096 is going to get a better run, it looks like, coming through.
You got to be careful.
Back and forth, back and forth.
You know, another thing that we haven't talked about nearly enough tonight is how careful you have to be when you're running behind a guy trying to make a pass. Because
the 028 of Monte Keller's in the grass. Sorry to cut you off there, Joe. Went for a four-wheel slide coming off the turn, tried to save it. Effectively did, and then it swung back the other way and did a low-speed spin into the grass, but no caution, we stay green.
Keith MC.
Keith MC. Yeah,
he's doing a
starting to
good
look for
job.
line. That looks like he went very high up the track last time by. We'll see if the lap times compare. Still faster than Robert Bauckham by a tenth of a second, so I don't know, maybe Keith knows something we don't right now. That's very likely, honestly. Keith generally knows more things than we do.
Usually he's a little smarter than us. That's why he's driving the race car and we're up here in the booth.
Exactly.
Bauckham in the 118's been the one guy, though, that I think it has a shot at challenging the 28. We get a late race restart. Because we know Robert's not an aggressive guy early on a restart in the middle of the race, but dangle that carrot out in front of him late in the going, and he gets a solid restart, he's definitely one to contend with. Words, you know? That made no sense. Single file, though, throughout Furco. Trying to get by Brian Voiles in the 68. Silver Bullet now to the outside of Furco. Going to get that spot, so that 4 car trying to charge back up to the front. Remember, restarted second a few restarts ago because he stayed out. Fell like a rock on lap 1 on the restart through 1 and 2. Kind of got shuffled up and out of the way. At 14 trying to rebound. Most hotly contested battle right now is the battle for third. Chevy Chase, the 096, the 088, and Greg Lovell for position. And your upcoming races here on JTN, mark them down on your calendar. Live with you pretty much every Thursday next 2 with the Hobo Racing Modifieds. And back with the Bomb Squad Trucks, Cup, and Xfinity Series the first week of August, all at Watkins Glen. So a bunch of great racing action here on JTN. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. You're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button on the video if you haven't already. It does a lot to help support us, and we really, really can't thank you enough for all the support you give us here on JTN. Also follow us on Twitter at JoeTowNetwork, on Facebook at JoeTowNetwork, and on TikTok at JoeTowNetwork. We're all over the place, Ricky. We're all over the place.
All over the place.
Ricky was taking his snack break. Did you get your juice box?
Just get a breather. Still got a logjam a little further back. The 4 Silver Bullet, RickyJ in the 93, Brian Voiles the 68. We were talking about how important track position here is. RickyJ really has not been able to move up through the field. He was one of the fastest guys on track. Like the past bunch of runs, running consistently 4th spot all night, and he really can't make his way back up through the field right now.
And remember, RickyJ on that 2-race win streak. One at the start of the month at Dover, one last week at Atlanta. That streak looking like it's probably going to come to an end tonight because that 28's just so quick of old Mac Daddy Keith MC.
And Joe, we're coming up on lap 80 here, so that means pit stops will start to come into fray. That last run to the finish here. When do you come in? Do you short pit? Do you wait those tires out as long as possible? Hypothetically, at any point from here on out, you can make it to the end of the race. It's just how you play your cars here.
AJ's crept his way up into this battle for third. Netto 29, Assassin's Creed Chevrolet Camaro or Corvette.
Made out of wizard magic. Wouldn't tell us how that color changes.
No, we asked him. He said, I didn't do it.
Greg Lovell gets on by the 096, so he's got that position, but now KJ's going to size up Chevy Chase here to the inside. He doesn't want Greg to get away. He wants to take that 3rd spot.
Now going to look for 3rd to the bottom of Lovell. about that from starting to lap down all the way back up into third?
That's
Now,
not too bad.
I used to pass in turns 3 and 4.
Right now, 193 of BSR RickyJ coming down pit road. So here's our first pit stop here. Very early pit. But RickyJ going to try to leapfrog these guys on that short pit. Maybe get some fast laps on those fresh tires and see if he can gain some positions. I don't think he can really make a Hail Mary on the leader from where he is, but you definitely have a net plus at the end of this.
Well, and it's a necessary move at this point because you lost all your track position due to that contact coming off of turn number 4 with your teammate. You didn't get the caution because you didn't get the caution because you saved the race car, right? So you're kind of one of those danged if you do, danged if you don't situations.
That's very true.
So, what's the next best thing? We'll try to short pit. Get the good on the fresh tires a little bit sooner than everyone else. See if you can kind of close that gap and hold them off. Because we know the tire wear isn't too great. It's enough. It's what, about a second to fall off, maybe 6/10.
Give or take a second.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy, but enough to where it can make a difference if you're out there for 10 more laps.
Right now, looking on track, Keith MC and Robert Bauckham now running almost even lap times. Keith MC still just a skosh quicker, but again, really, Bauckham really has not lost the leader this time by this run like he did the last 2 tire runs. Really been staying in touch with Keith MC, putting some good adjustments to that car. 28 comes up on the 33. Jimmy Dale in a bad spot here. That's going to hurt this lap for him.
Going to be able to make the pass, though, down into turns 1 and 2. Jimmy Dale doing a good job of staying out of the way, but still battling to stay on to the lead lap. It's kind of that weird balance that you have to do when leaders coming up on you.
A very strange tightrope walk here. Looking around, seeing if anyone else is calling out. 2 of BSR to Rusty coming down this time, he says. So 2 car will be coming down to pit road. He's 17th, so he's a lap down currently, I believe. Yes, he is a lap down. So lap down car coming in.
There you see him making the approach. And now onto the pit lane. Oh, we've kind of spaced out now.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Bauckham getting by Jimmy Dale.
It'd be a waiting game here on who comes to pit road the latest, honestly, because it's a tough one. I think short pitting is probably coming in earlier is probably going to benefit you more because you're on track by yourself with fresh tires. You can log off a lot quicker of lap times. I think you would unworn rubber.
The other thing is cautions have been so unpredictable here tonight. We had that long green flag run, then that middle third of the race, it was the middle 6th of the race. We had those cautions, right? And now we've kind of run green since then, still running green, coming up and approaching that window where everyone's going to have to make their final green flag pit stop of the night. It's kind of that, it's weird, right? Because if you don't want to pit early and then go a couple laps down, because then you take yourself completely out of the race, right, Ricky? But if you do pit early, everything cycles through green, you stand to gain something. Not a lot, but something.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty accurate assessment of it.
Now,
It's a
you get lucky enough that you're on pit road, and then the caution comes out right as you get onto pit road and you make your stop. That's what you want. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
You want that, but that's like winning the lottery. It's really a tough thing to cash out on something like that.
I just absolutely cut you off, Ricky. I just went for it. I said, you know what? I don't care if anyone thinks I'm a jerk. I got an idea.
Looking around right now, no one taking pit road yet. So I think these guys, like you said, Joe.
Montekeller down on pit road.
Oh, well, now I said that. I jinxed it. Montekeller coming down pit road. 90 laps, 91 of 120 right now. So we got 30 laps to go in this event. They're probably getting close to a breaking point here where they have to come down for fuel.
Yep. Zach Rogers has gotten back up inside the top 5.
Hey, Zach Rogers had a fast car here. Wondering if RickyJ's gotten behind on adjustments at all, because Rogers was just as fast as that 193, and he made very easy work of a lot of these guys out here, whereas RickyJ was kind of mired back in traffic. He's taking an alternate strategy right now to see if he can get some positions.
Another thing we probably didn't talk about enough, though, when Ricky had that spin coming off of 4, not spin, but he slid those tires, right? Wore them out a little bit.
Joe. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
There you go. I cut you off. You cut me off. I cut you off.
Now we're even. 92 to go for our leader.
And Keith brings that thing down about as gingerly as possible, too. 088, Greg Lovell coming down. Keith knows he doesn't want to mess up this pit stop. It's a really tough track. You don't want to dive it in too hard into turn 3 and then slam on the brakes mid-corner and make that pit road, because then you'll just spin right around. So, very heads-up move by Keith MC to make sure that I got to pit road safely. No reason to sacrifice anything in that 2-second gap that he has on the 118 to something that could be avoided.
Right.
Right now, looking like no one else other than the 088 really taking on pit road. They're staying out here, logging more laps, so this is going to really benefit Keith for a few rounds about this place, and Greg Lovell as well, until these guys start coming down pit road.
Lovell has more to gain by doing the short pit, right? He was a little closer with KJ for position. Keith, he was already out in front, so the short pit's just going to gain him a little bit of time if it all goes to plan. Block him, getting for it. I'm watching these guys send it down into turn 1, and they're just on the edge of control.
That is making me sweat, because if you're Keith MC, you do not want to see that right now, because if one of these guys spins and a caution comes out, he's not even the last car on the lead lap. That would go to Magoo in the 144. He is coming up on the 144, so it's possible that Magoo, that Keith is the next car a lap down, but even then, if he gets a lucky dog, he's at the back of the field. It's just an inconvenience for him. 22's coming down. The 66 dives in deep onto pit road here. Well, these guys are coming. Oh, 96
their way
guys hand out the
downtown.
window. He's waving them on. KJ's coming down. We got pit stops, Joe.
Oh boy, pit stops. Had to do it to him.
And that's 49's declaring he's coming down pit road. Brain fade. Still leaving a few guys out here. Zach Rogers. Kind of a tale of two strategies right now between the two guys that were involved in the last caution with one of the last cautions with RickyJ and Zach Rogers. RickyJ took a very early pit. Zach Rogers looks like he's going to try to kind of milk this for all it's worth. Try to spend a while out there. Robert Bockham, who was our leader, coming down this time by.
Really aggressive getting down to pit lane. Pitting on lap 97 of 120. Again, we're closing in on that 20 to go. Rogers going to stay out once again. This is a strategy I like.
Off pit road. What's a strategy you like, Joe?
I like staying out as long as you can. I really do, because
at a track like this, if one person gets a caution there and you're the last guy that hasn't pitted, then you kind of put everyone a lap down.
Or at least put them where, you know, they're going to have to pit anyways with you if they are on the lead lap. Because they've run 20 laps on their tires, you know what I mean?
Right now, if I'm Zach Rogers, I'm just like, someone spin. Nelly in third, coming to pit road.
I thought you were about to say Nelly spinning.
That'll put Zach Rogers at the lead on point. I think Rogers is the only one that hasn't pitted yet, so Zach Rogers really kind of staying out there for the long haul. If he can get that caution, he'll look like the smartest man in New Hampshire after this.
In the Granite State?
In the Granite State, yeah.
What was there was a race, the modified race here was the Granite State 100 in the EA games. I don't know if that's actually what it is.
I don't really know. That sounds like something they would call it, honestly. It's not creative. It really is as uncreative as people think it is in terms of like what we name things.
Y'all are just boring.
Yeah, so someone please sing Granite State 200 in a race name. Sound absolutely on brand for New Hampshire. Tiny person in chat asking, is Brad retirement? He is not.
No, he's not retiring.
He is not retirement.
He's gonna. It sounds like he's gonna take over the 6 car at Roush and also get an ownership stake there at Roush Fenway Racing. Which works out in a lot of other ways, too, because he has his CAM, which is Kozlowski Advanced Manufacturing, and then Roush obviously has Roush Performance and all of his manufacturing businesses that are on that campus there where the race shop is in North Carolina. So there's that integration there as well. But it sounds like, from what we know, he's probably going to get an ownership role at Roush Fenway Racing and then take over that 6 car. Hey.
Zach Rogers still leading this thing right now. Second place, a 19 of Furco, so still a few different alternate strategies hanging tough here. Silver Bullet in 4th right now, and then Keith MC in the Silver Bullet in 3rd in the 4th, and then Keith MC in the 4th position, coming up on Silver Bullet. But it'll be interesting here. Zach Rogers, just on such an alternate strategy, is really staying out there for a long time. We're less than 20 laps to go here, and he's still on track. Those what does he take for tires at this point, Joe?
Oh, I'd take 2.
See these guys getting loose in the turret. I saw Monty Keller have a big wiggle, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I'd take 2. You're only going to have to run 15 laps. Might as well just send it.
Zach Rogers just needs one of these cars on track to spin out, and this whole strategy just absolutely cashes out for him.
They come together.
We'll see if he can how long he can hang on for. The 15 of Furco waving his hand out the window saying he's coming in this time by. He's coming in this time by. So is anyone else going to come with him? Is Rogers going to stay out? What is Rogers going to do? Zach Rogers leading here at New Hampshire, coming across the line for 16 laps to go. But he's still got a pit. Next car behind him is the 28 of Keith MC, 18 seconds behind. That's the problem, though. This track's only 1 mile in length, so really, if you pit, it's pretty much a guarantee you're gonna lose that lap.
Right. So, in Zach's case, he's looking at the 029 who just got by him to get back on the lead lap. That's the guy that you want to beat, because that was the guy you were racing with for the 3rd position.
Yes.
Before the pit stops. Unless there's a caution.
Oh, the 2 is around on track!
Well, there it is.
Sitting on track, and we are under caution.
Zach Rogers looking pretty smart there in that 9 car. He'll definitely be coming down pit road in a lap here.
This changes a lot right now, Joe. Zach Rogers will now have the lead.
Some of those guys might stay out, though. I don't know.
Take a look at this.
Replay, RJ Rusty going down into turn number 1. It's on the brakes, locks him up. Something wrong with the pedals there.
Yeah, it looks like he was in 4th gear, shifts into neutral, and then something happens, just keeps popping into neutral, hits 1st gear, and the car just goes around.
Darren, this does change everything.
This does. Well, the interesting thing, though, is that, so of the cars on track right now, so as these guys cycle through, there's only 6 cars on the lead lap right now. The 9, the 28, the 4, the 118, the 68, and the 029 in that order. 144 Magoo will get the lucky dog, I believe. So there'll only be 7 cars on the lead lap here. Zach Rogers is our leader, but Keith McLean was on the lead lap in 2nd. That 28, who's been an absolute missile all night, is still going to be on that front row for this restart.
Yeah.
So it's going to be all on Zach Rogers here to execute. He's probably going to have no issue getting down pit road here, getting those 4 tires. I imagine everyone's going to come down and get 4 tires and fuel. Really not going to see any big opposition here.
I think you might be wrong.
Hey, here comes 28 down.
Never mind, you're right.
Yeah, he's not going to get any big opposition here because these guys are so far behind him. Yeah, all these guys are going to take it. But the issue is that he's still going to have to deal with Keith MC alongside him. And Keith MC has been very, very fast. Keith's best lap tonight is 29.8, and Zach Rogers hasn't run anything below a 30 flat. So Keith's consistently had a few tenths on these guys all night. Robert Baucom's another interesting one. Has been as fast as that 28 machine all evening. He's been consistently just getting closer and closer to him and matching lap times with him. Baucom's going to be right back in this shuffle. So that'll be an interesting thing.
Oh, no!
What?
Keith won the race off pit road!
Oh, Keith McLean wins the race off pit road. That's interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
Must have had to put less fuel in it.
Something. Yeah, because he did 4, right? I mean, we're watching him right on our screen.
Must have had to take less fuel than these guys. That's going to be
Well,
even
no one
more,
had to take fuel that already pitted.
Well, it's gonna get tricky, Joe, because a lot of these guys, some of these guys are gonna pit here. I'm not really sure. Some of these lap down cars are gonna pit, so they're gonna stay a lap down. I think they gotta go to the back. That'll be fine. But these guys are gonna kind of cycle through. But now the 118's in the fray, the 029's in the fray. What I was gonna say though, a big tip of the cap there to Brian Voiles in the 68 machine. Played that strategy well, is in 6th spot here right now. A lot of these guys behind him. I think he was one of the last guys that is going to be on the lead lap here. I think 144 was going to be Lucky Dog. So great job of that 68 car. The 096 going to get 096 got tires. I think the 144s just came down to get tires, but he's in a good position right now to get a good finish out of this.
Things are about to get a little spicy, too. You'd have to think guys are really going to be pushing it here. We're going to be restarting with 10 laps to go in this one.
Yeah, someone's going to have to play Intimidator. Hit that big old Intimidator button, that big old square button on the controller to get that 28 to slip up on this restart. See if you can get Keith McLean to make his first mistake of the night, because
he's been dominant.
Really gonna need it. Yeah, he's just been absolutely dominant.
He's been absolutely murdering them tonight. Dak Rogers, though, hometown hero in that 9 car, trying to win it here. His home race at his home track. You have Robert Baucom.
Racetown.
Robert Baucom, always good in that 118 on these shorter, flat tracks. Is part of the most infamous JTN finish, in my opinion. Just over a year ago here in New Hampshire. Then you got KJ in that 029, who started a lap down in this race. Up into 4th here for the final restart. Silver Bullet in that 4 car, the 68 of Brian Voiles, both playing the strategy right, getting themselves up with a chance at a top 5 finish in this one. Lovell there, Lovell's not on the lead lap, right? Lovell a lap down, he came down, got tires, but Bagoo should be back on the lead lap. At 144, so a lot of interesting things.
A lot of intradasting things happening all at once here, and it's really going to throw everyone for a loop.
This restart's about to throw everyone for a loop.
It is.
Okay, so we'll go back green next time by, so that gives us a second to talk about our TWB 10 to go, folks. On behalf of TWB, I'd like to direct your attention to, well, the person that will directly give you garden lights. Of course, you know him, you love him. GardenLightsDirect.com. From porches to patios to more. For all your outdoor lighting needs, head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com. That's GardenLights. I didn't do that right. No, I did. DIRECT.com. Here's the thing. I didn't do it fast like I normally did. See, so it screwed me up. You know? Gonna be going back green with 9 laps to go. GardenLightsDirect.com here on your TWB 10 to go. Go check them out. Best outdoor lights you've ever seen. Tiny Person says,
Garden lights.
thinks the 9 will win. I don't know. That 28's just so good. That's who I'm putting my money on. If I'm putting my money on anyone now, he's probably, negative odds, but yeah. Slap a hundo on him.
Here, coming back. Keith MC's going to lead him back to this green flag. It's going to be the make or break time. Here we go. Green flag. Keith MC gets a great jump. Robert Baucom going to go with him. Zach Rogers kind of gets hung up on that high line.
KJ also looked to get to the bottom behind Baucom. Baucom going to make the pass for second. Now going to be all over the back bumper of old Mac Daddy for the lead down the back straightaway.
There's a big log jam behind him, but what does Baucom do? Can he get back to the 28 of Keith MC? What does he do when he gets there? Keith overshoots the track way up high. Oh, he gets loose. Baucom's going to get a nose under him almost. Keith MC loose coming off the turn. This is going to get dicey here.
We get a little dicey. Baucom had a chance there. Could have pushed the issue a little more than he did. He didn't. Gonna have to get aggressive, though, late in this one to get around that 28 car.
You see Robert Baucom gets tight there coming off of turn 2. Keith MC's going to start to spread him a little bit. But can Keith keep it under him this time? He really overshot it last time. The car almost over-rotated a bit. It looks like Baucom's starting to track him down in 3 and 4.
Bauckham being really aggressive on the entry of the corner. You see him just sending that car in, able to get it to settle through the center. Not getting as good of a run off, but I think he's gaining more time than what he's losing right now.
I think you're right, Joe. And this time by again, you see he kind of gets tight there coming off turn 2, but watches in turn 3. Keith MC seems like he's just a little bit rotating just a little bit too much, and then Bauckham just gets a big run.
Yeah. You saw it there a little bit. That 28 shifting up the track a little bit. Battle on for third. KJ trying to get around the 9 is Zach Rogers. We'll go to that battle as the 28's kind of starting to pull a little
Zach
bit
Rogers
away.
Way up the track. The 029 to the inside of him.
Side by side down the back straightaway. Jules still looking for that third spot. Zach Rogers way up the track. KJ not going to be clear just yet. They're going to still be side by side down the front to the line.
Oh, they're close.
KJ gets third on that lap. Now down into one once again.
Oh, KJ
no!
goes sideways and he's around. Oh, backs it into the wall there. That's going to be a caution.
That might end this race too. So up to the leader.
We'll have to see.
Keith MC, he's got the lead. Everyone else single file behind them, racing back to the line. Racing back to the yellow. It might just be the checkered flag. Coming to that line. I think we might get a restart with 1 to go. There comes the field.
I don't know, Joe. There's some lap down cars. That might be all she wrote right there.
We got, what, 4 laps? It's usually been 3 laps, even with the lap down cars.
You think so? We'll see. 49 brain fade almost spins it. Don't wreck it yet, guys. We still might have something here.
They're congratulating old Mac Daddy. Let's get you a replay though. What happened with KJ in that 029 car? You saw it live.
They were just racing very close there, side by side, door to door. Zach Rogers was up against the wall there. KJ, I think, was trying to take that middle lane. Neither of these guys are going to go in there on that bottom lane. I think it's just a racing deal. Get really close and just a little bit of contact sends that 029 around.
We called hard racing at the end. These two both wanted that third position so much.
That is leaving it all on the track right there.
Ugh.
3 laps to go. I have to see, Joe, if they see if they got anything coming back here.
So we'd have to get the 1 to go next time at the line, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think you're right. The race is probably over. Well, a great race nonetheless here tonight. Make sure you stick around. We're going to talk with our top 3 after this one. I know there's probably some disappointed drivers down there in the garage area. I think chief among those probably the 029 of Kilojoules. But if you haven't already, folks, make sure you leave a like on the live stream. It helps us so much. Helps us with all the algorithms and doodahs and who's what's it's here on the YouTubes. I can't thank you enough for all your support. Also, make sure, if you haven't already, you're subscribed to us here on JTN. Hit that little bell. You'll get notified anytime we go live or new content's posted. So that's going to end it. Mac Daddy, Keith MC, gonna win it. I was correct. I'm always right, tiny person. I'm always right. But, real quick, too, can't thank Brian and Kathy Voiles, folks at Voiles Truckin' enough for what they do for the boys here in Bomb Squad, helping them fund this league, put these races on, and also bring us out the cover, bring you the pictures to your computer screens, smart TVs, whatever it may be. Every Thursday night when the Cup Series is racing pretty much through the rest of the year. I lied when I said we have every Thursday through the November, because there might be a Thursday when JTN's shut down for a corporate holiday, aka MIS race weekend. But Ricky, a fantastic race here tonight.
A fantastic race, some good old New Hampshire racing. You gotta love it.
Home track did you proud?
Yeah, always does me proud.
That's not what you said a couple weeks ago.
I joked.
Last week, when all that next gen stuff came out. I'm not gonna buy a ticket anymore. White flag in the air one final time here, under caution. McDaddy keep them C with the lead. Again, going to take the victory here. Dominant performance. I don't even know how many laps he didn't lead here tonight. But definitely led probably about 80 of them, would you say? That's probably a decent number.
A whole hey ho of a lot of them.
We'll get you those results on your screens as well once this race is completed. Darren, I knew you'd enjoy that one. Coming to the line, checkered flag in the air, 3 wide for the lead. McDaddy keep them C wins it. I hope he didn't pass the pace car because that would be a DQ. I think we're good. Wait, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. So he'll burn it down. We'll get you... I'm going to get those results real quick. Only 2 retirees out of this event. RJ Rusty's going to wind up 18th, and then BSR Kilojoules KJ going to finish 17th here tonight. Comes around here. Fans on their feet, cheering, waving their hats, waving their programs. Maybe even waving their t-shirts. Keep them see, McDaddy wins it here in New Hampshire. Also, you saw Weaver's snow coat stand down there in turn 1. Get those post-race results on your screen. Let's go ahead. Let's bring in first our second place finisher, driver the number 118, Menards Chevrolet. Robert, you got a copy?
Go ahead, 10-4.
Hey, buddy, I mean, you had to feel like you were leading that race because I don't think anyone saw that 28 car all night long, huh?
Yeah, we made some good adjustments. Those last 2 pit stops, we picked up almost 2 tenths from what we've been running. He was good, though. He was good coming off. I was trying to get him to overdrive it. And then when I got right behind him, it took the nose off. It took the air off my nose and made me tight, so I was trying to change my line. But we definitely improved throughout the race. But Keith drove a good race. He actually drove sober. That was the whole problem right there. He drove sober, and look how good he does. So congratulations to him. But, yeah, he did a good job.
Did a great job, but let's talk about your race because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't an up and down race. You qualified on the front row. We're pretty much second all night long. I know that's not necessarily what you want to hear, but that's a good night, right, for this 118 team. But we're going into a break, a little bit of a 2-week hiatus here with the Cup Series. Does this give you confidence going into August, getting ready to battle for a championship in the fall, having a good run here on this flat New Hampshire Motor Speedway?
Well, I'm not really running for points, but I'm actually fixing to get in the car in just a minute as soon as this interview's over. And I'm heading to Panama City, so I'm fixing to start my vacation early. So I was happy to get a good run here. But you got some good guys here. They'll put on a good run for their championship. Like I said, I just didn't want to run for the points. I want to have some fun. And like I said, I'm still getting used to the open setup. So it's definitely been a learning year for me. I definitely think we're going in the right directions, and that's what matters. Definitely want to go forward, not backwards.
Robert, they definitely know that you're here to play for the victories every week. Congratulations on the second place finish. Before we let you go, I know you got family, sponsors, and the like to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The first thing I want to do is I didn't get to get well, I was in the top three right there at the end last week, but I just want to give a shout out to my family. We lost my aunt last Monday before, or I guess 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty hard on the whole family. So I just want to give a shout out to them, let them know I'm thinking about them. Damn it, I got teared up in here. It sucks. I want to give a shout out to Bomb Squad Racing and, of course, Kathy and Brian Voiles. We really appreciate what you guys do. I mean, just top notch what these guys do for this league. Shout out to the JTN network, man. Great broadcasting. If you're out there, you need a broadcaster, hire these guys. They're unbelievable. I put them up against the best out there, I promise you. Want to give a shout out to my wife. I love her. I hope she's going to enjoy this drive she's going to take because I'm tired, so she's going to have to start off driving. So if you're listening, I hope you're ready to drive, honey. I just got done driving this race, so I shouldn't have to drive Panama City, right? That's what I thought. And give a shout out to my 14-year-old daughter, Caitlin. She always cheers me on. It's pretty cool to have the relationship we have that she gets up fired up watching me race, and that's pretty cool. So I appreciate you guys and all you do, and I'll definitely see you in a couple weeks.
Robert, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Condolences, of course, and have a wonderful vacation. Take it easy, buddy. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. If I didn't say it before, Keith, if you're out there, great job, man. You was definitely up on the wheel tonight, man. You definitely earned what you got, buddy. So good job to you.
Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Robert Baucom, driver of the number 118 Menards Chevrolet, bringing in now our third place finisher. First time we're getting the pleasure to talk with him. Hometown hero, Mr. Zach Rogers. Zach, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Well, I mean, you were going on there at the end, leading all those laps, staying out, trying to catch a caution, caught a caution. Was that was the game plan, right? Trying to catch that caution to gain some of that track position back?
Yeah, after the incident there with Ricky off of turn 2, where I clipped the flat there off of 2, and I had the wheel all the way to the right, and when the flat went away, it just shot back up to the wall, and Ricky had nowhere to go, and we wrecked. But yeah, that was the game plan, was to either pit for 2 tires at the end there or hope for a yellow, and we got one. I believe someone's engine let go, so it worked out pretty well.
Did work out pretty well. Got the third place finish. Before that, I think you were running fourth though, so it wasn't like that move where, oh, you're running outside the top 10 and all of a sudden you're leading move, but a great strategy call, right? I want to make sure folks at home don't think you like lucked into it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I want to give you due credit because you were fast all night long, constantly up inside that top 3. That feel good? I know at a home track, there's always a little bit of extra want and desire to do good. That's got to be really good to also be running so strong here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this track. I never considered myself really the best at New Hampshire, but I always seem to run well here. And I made like a last-second setup change before the race, and I got really comfortable. I really liked it. Same setup as Keith, your winner there. He drove it way better than I could, though. But I got really comfortable once the tires would warm up, and it just felt like a good rhythm race. So I'm happy I was in third place for most of the night there, and then just kind of lucked out there at the end with the cautions to get back up.
Hey, let's talk about that battle that you're having with the 029 at the end. Last question, of course. When you're racing, when you're dogfighting with a guy like that late in the race, everyone's fighting for the one lane that this New Hampshire has. How do you kind of balance, trying to run your line, trying to give him room? I mean, we saw just that hard racing there at the end ended up causing that last yellow. How do you kind of balance those two things of trying to make sure that you're getting your line, but also not, running him over, I guess. I don't know the best way to put it, but how do you balance those two things?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because you're trying to get in the corner as hard as you can, but you're also not trying to turn down into the guy on your door. And we did good there for, I think it was turns 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 on the first lap. We were side by side, and then on the next lap, I looked, and my right front was about to be cooked, and I don't know. I might have pinched him a little bit too much, but I didn't see any contact on my end. But it was tough that the hard racing had to end that way because I wanted to race him for it. But it's a tough balance, the track like New Hampshire. is all about rhythm. And once you cook the right front, it takes like 10 laps to cool it off. So at the end there, I was just going to have to keep pushing it. And what happened was what happened. I kind of feel bad about it. I don't like over pinching people. I like to race as clean as possible, but sometimes stuff happens.
Hey, it's just one of those racing deals. It was just hard racing. I don't think you did anything wrong. But, Zach, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. Before we let you go, the floor is your sponsors, family, friends, whoever you got. Now it's time to thank them.
Yeah, I want to thank Red Bull for picking me up every day at lunch. I want to thank RickyJ for being a great teammate. This was actually our first time getting in a wreck together, but hopefully it will be the last for a while. He's always great giving me setups. Tonight, of course, I didn't use his setup, but we were having fun tonight. I want to thank Keith. Keith was a lot of help tonight. Good win for him, and good racing with KJ and Silver Bullet as well. And of course, Robert. I felt me and Robert were even for most of the beginning of the race there. But I also want to thank Bob Squad Racing. Man, this is one of the best open setup leagues there is, the racing.
Zach, we want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Congratulations on the third place run, and good luck in a few weeks at Watkins Glen. I know you're really looking forward to those races.
All right, thanks, man.
Zach Rogers, driver the number 9 Red Bull Audi here tonight, third place finisher. We now move down into victory lane. No, he's probably got a couple Busch Ices in him. Driver the number 28 Ford, Mr. Keith MC, old Mac Daddy Keith. You got a copy?
I hear you loud and clear. How about that? That Evan Williams 100-proof car was strong tonight, boys.
It was 101 out of 120 laps. Do you even know what percentage that is?
Just about all of them.
Absolutely smacked him here tonight. What went into that run?
Oh, this is one of my favorite tracks. I like the flat tracks, and I didn't have no Busch Ice or Evan Williams in me tonight, so that made a difference.
I was going to say, Robert said the same. 84%. To answer my own question. But talk about, though, kind of, because I mean, you didn't, it's not like you faced a lot of challenges throughout the race, right? You were able to get clear of those guys, then kind of get into your groove. But talk about those late race restarts, because it's a whole different challenge than what you faced throughout the race, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of change at the end. Robert had been working on his car, and I went in and I over-adjusted just a little bit, so I was a little bit looser that last little 4 laps there before we had another caution. But yeah, the car was really good. It was really nice early on. I got out there, had me a nice got me a nice lead, and I could just run my pace, and the car was, like I say, the car was great. The only thing that could have messed it up was me tonight,
And you didn't, so that's good, right?
and I didn't. I needed to do a little better than I did Tuesday night at Hobo, because I had
Not good?
too much Evan Williams that night.
Well, see, you course corrected, got the correct amount, which is 0, because you shouldn't drink and drive at home, folks. But, Keith, talk about what this means in terms of, it's kind of, it hasn't, not like it's been a down couple of weeks, right, for this 28 team. You're always up towards the front, always competing. But to get a victory, we're going to go into this 2-week hiatus. To get a victory, kind of send you off into that break. How does that help you behind the wheel? Does that give you that extra confidence when we come back in a few weeks? What does that do for you?
Yeah, it's giving me a little shot in the arm, because I was starting to feel a little bad about myself. Last Wednesday, when we had my birthday bash race, I inexplicably just pulled him up in the mat and wrecked him and Chevy there toward the end of the race, and I was just so mad with myself. So maybe I get a little confidence back here and get on a little roll here and get my shit together.
Hey, got it together tonight again. 101 of 120 laps, 84%. Keith, congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, though, you know the drill. The floor is yours.
All right, I'd like to thank Kathy Bowles, Brian Bowles Trucking, for sponsoring our races over here, admins, Magoo, and everybody. And I'd like to give a shout out to Rose Rubino, who is Steve's wife at Hobo. She's going through a lot of health stuff right now, and she needs some prayers. If anybody's out there, say a prayer for Rose And for my girlfriend's father, Floyd, he needs some prayers too. They're getting on hard times here. You know how this world is right now. Every little bit helps.
A little bit helps. Thoughts and prayers, of course. And Keith, congratulations once again on the victory here tonight. Have a fan. What?
And where's my shirt, dude?
Shirt?
Where's my Mac Daddy shirt on the
You want a Mac Daddy shirt? We'll get it.
Joe, you didn't get him a shirt?
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, Keith. We're gonna make it. I got you. I got the hookup. But hey, when you win these races, I think that means you get that shirt designed. But Keith, congratulations once again on the victory here tonight. Have a fantastic couple weeks off here with the Cup Series stuff, and I have a feeling we'll be talking to you again before the season's over.
Oh yeah, thanks guys. Y'all did a great job. I'm sure, like always.
Thank you so much, Keith. Keith MC, old Mac Daddy, driver the number 28, your winner here tonight from Loudon. Ricky, a fantastic race here tonight. I'm gonna go back to our old trope. Sum it up, 3 words.
Oh God. It's New Hampshire.
All right, Ricky. As always, a great summary. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me up here in the booth. Folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here to JTN tonight. Make sure, if you haven't already, again, leave a like on the video and subscribe. You don't want to miss anything on JTN. We got different videos coming out, different ideas. We're floating them. Tell us what you think. Got some different breakdowns from this past weekend that got uploaded. Fake Racers podcast was up yesterday. Go check all those things out. Of course, check out all our live broadcasts as well. Got a bunch of great ones in the video library. Also have a bunch of great ones coming up. You're going to want to make sure you're tuned into our socials so you don't miss a second of that. But again, if you're subscribed with notifications turned on, then you won't miss anything because it'll send a little push notification right to your phone. Best, easiest way to keep up with us here on JT. And with all of that being said, can't thank you enough again for tuning in tonight. For all of us here at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for Ricky Klett, I've been Joe Twansky. Have a wonderful rest of your night, a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys next time live here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh, an Africa! Wide!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill is through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Comes Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's going to use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.